I'm Shiva.
I'm Sandy.
And this is
Our Relaxing Hobby. Hello.
Hi.
Tonight's episode we're going to talk a little bit about guppies and breeding and things like that. I know we've talked basically about guppies before, but we wanted to kind of give a few more little pointers of some things we found out when we've noticed from people when we go to buy guppies, ratios of guppies, kind of, okay, so.
Yeah, well, first of all, let me start out with guppies are strictly Sandy's domain.
Yeah, I like the little cute, little pretty guppies. I do.
Every now and then I'll pick out ones that.
Yeah,
like
she always picks out the males for me. I don't know. I was like, oh, whatever one. She's like, okay, no, we gotta pick the right one. So you actually picked the last one too. You picked the last two.
Well, I told you what breed the last time.
Yeah.
You went without me, but
Yeah.
I told you what breed would be pretty.
Yeah, so.
Because we do breed guppies for pet shops, and I kept telling her you need to get a really fancy one, a nice big beautiful male to make lots of beautiful babies that pet stores will really like. So
yeah, so that's what we did with this last one. I mean, we did it with the first one too. He was a beautiful one, but
yeah, but I mean, this one was a really fancy one.
This one's a little Dumbo. He's a little more expensive, a little prettier. But because there are different levels of guppy, just like there's different levels of koi. Mm-hmm. You can get the feeder guppies. You can get then you get to the Amazon guppies, which is what I have, and they're pretty colors, and then you get the fancier males. Some males, there's different kinds of males. There's probably 8 different kinds at least. I mean, maybe you can look at and show them some of that when we're but there's different kinds. But anyway, we have a Dumbo one. We haven't named him yet. And the reason for that is because again, when you're breeding for guppies, it's very important to have 3 to 4 females. I would recommend 4 for every male.
Why?
Because they'll kill them. They will harass the women to death. They will literally,
Okay.
They will literally. If you have
guppy serial killers.
You do. You have guppy rapists basically.
Okay.
If you have more males than females, they will literally harass the female to death.
Okay.
So you don't ever want to have like 3 males and 1 female. She'll be dead in a couple of days. Mm-hmm. She can't handle it. And you don't want to have the males don't necessarily fight with each other. They do a little bit. They'll nip each other's tails if you have too many males without enough females. But if you have only males, they don't tend to do that for some reason. If there's only males, there's the testosterone doesn't kick in. I guess I don't know what it is for fish.
Right.
But
how can you tell the difference between the male and females?
The male has a little penis. But anyway, no, there's other reasons. Couldn't resist this. But no, the males are much more flashy. They're much more showy. The females are much blander. They do have some pretty colors. The females are generally larger. The males really do have a little proboscis that sticks out.
Okay.
They're generally smaller. They're like more compact. The females are normally longer as well. Really, it's the flash.
When they say kind of like betas, where the female betas are the shorter finned and not as showy as the males.
It's not as showy. Yeah, they're longer. They're bigger. The males are smaller, shorter. Their tails are gorgeous. They're just much more. Every once in a while,
peacocks.
Every once in a while you'll get a female that's really pretty, and you can kind of confuse them sometimes for a minute because some of those females can be really pretty too. But if you really look, really honestly, you just look honestly. I just don't even look at the color all the time. I look to make sure that they have a little proboscis sticking out, a little penis sticking out.
Okay.
I don't know what the actual term of it is. I'm sure we can look that up and Mr. Captions can tell us.
I would guess
I'm sure it has a name. No, it has some probably scientific name for it. But anyway.
Parts.
It has boy parts, and you can see that relatively young, not super young, but relatively young. It starts to show already. You can get confused. Like Shiva did pick up a couple for me, some females. She was picking up some females, and she ended up bringing home a very young male that we didn't realize. So we put him in the tank, and then I saw how colorful he was, and I really took a good look. And I'm like, oh, that's a very young male. Yeah. But again, it's okay because I have a huge ratio of female to male in my tank anyway. But another thing that you have to watch out for guppies is inbreeding. After 2 or 3 generations, if the father keeps mating with his babies, they get a defect. I call it like a hook, and the babies are literally born with this little kink in them, and it's very very unhealthy. So unfortunately for the males, after 2 or 3 breeding cycles, you need to pull the male out of the tank of females.
They go into
the retirement tank, which we have a retirement tank, and actually right now we have 2 of the children of my oldest male who is he's getting close to retirement age himself. I just can't catch the little shit.
Picasso?
Yeah, Picasso's too fast. He knows what the net is. The two young ones they'd never been on a net, so they had no idea, so I just scooped them right up.
Yeah.
But the reason for that is because I don't want them breeding with their sisters. Because a lot of the fish in my tank are related, the females, and that's okay. Females can be related all they want. It's the males, you can't really let them breed with the females that are related. At least I don't like to, because I want to keep nice, healthy fish.
Right.
And that's a good, after 2 or 3 cycles, you really want to unfortunately pull the male out and put them in a retirement tank. We don't get rid of them. We literally put them in a retirement tank. I used to give them to different pet stores when they got older.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's an option.
An option is to because we give them back to a pet store to trade them or something. That's what I used to do. Is I used to trade them. So, but anyway, because I had a pet store by me that we would trade fish.
But since we've got these small tanks that are
we have small tanks,
now,
we just put them in a kind of a male only tank.
Yeah.
Kind of like the sorority for the sorority for the girls in the betas. But
so we got a guppy fraternity going on.
Yeah. But no, I mean, honestly, it's really kind of important, and I know that people, when they go to the pet stores and they get the little guppies because they're so pretty, and they're usually looking at the males. And it's fine if you have all males in the tank. It's pretty and it's fine. As soon as you throw one female in there, if you accidentally get that poor thing in there, within a couple of days she's going to die. Because they just will harass her to death. And I mean, it's unfortunate and people don't realize, but that's kind of important. I mean, if you don't want to breed guppies, get either all female or all male. Because the males can be in the tank together. It's fine. It won't hurt anything as long as you don't put any just one female.
So it'd be better for somebody who just wants guppies. They don't want to breed.
Right.
For them to get older males.
All males. Yeah.
But older males, so you can tell the difference.
Yeah, you don't want to get baby, but it's hard to tell when they're really small, especially if you're inexperienced. And I mean, sometimes even the pet stores will get it wrong. I mean, it's happened to me. It's happened to pet stores. I've seen happen to you. It can happen when they're young. It's hard to tell completely. So yeah, you want to get a little bit older males. They're very flashy. They're very beautiful. You can put several of them in the tank together. Just be very careful not to put any females in there with them if you have too many males. But they're pretty easy. Pretty easy to tell apart once they get a little bit older.
Okay. So once you have babies.
They live breed, which is awesome.
Yeah, they live breed, but don't they also eat their young?
Oh yeah, they do. They're little cannibals. As long as the babies are small enough to fit in their mouths, they will eat them. Now, some people put in breeding cage tanks kind of thing. I believe in survival of the fittest. Put some plants in there. The babies will hide. Put rocks in, plants in. As long as you have ornaments, places where they can hide, they will hide until they're big enough that they're no longer a food source. And that's what I do. I mean, and you don't get all the babies because they have 20, 30 babies at a time. 3 or 4 might live, maybe sometimes more. I mean, I've had as much as 10 live at a time. And the females do have 4 uteruses, so they literally will be pregnant 4 separate times, one right after another, from one cycle with the male. So, I mean, it's kind of, like I said, there's different ways to do it. I don't believe in the separating of the mother when she gets close to birth and putting them in the separate tank and pulling the mother out as soon as the baby happens. I did that once.
Yeah, you just
I'm never
don't
doing
want
that
to
again.
go through all the hassle.
It's a very big hassle, and the females don't like it because they're schooling fish. So you put her in there all by herself, even with the babies that she's trying to eat, by the way, because you have to get her out when the babies come. But she's by herself. She's alone. They don't like it. Even if the tank is floating, free floating in the tank with the others, mine didn't like it at all. She was very lethargic. She didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
So
it's better just to stock, if you want to have babies, it's better to just stock your tank full of plants
plants,
and let them have it.
Places to hide. Yeah, I usually put a lot of plants in mine just to have places for the babies to hide until they're a little bit. And you'll see when the mom has the babies, you'll see all of a sudden every single guppy's looking for them. They're like little sharks. Yeah, so, like I said, again, it is good to have a lot of plants if you want to breed. Breeding is not for everyone. They are just pretty to look at if you want to have a bunch of males and or a bunch of females. You can get some pretty females. But if you do want to breed, I really highly suggest a 4-to-1 ratio. At the very least, a 3-to-1 ratio. You can have multiple males in the tank as long as you have at least 3 females for every single male. And they're really, it's a fun fish. They don't have the personality of the goldfish, don't get me wrong, they don't.
Yeah.
But they are kind of cool. I enjoy looking at them. They're very pretty. They're very non-aggressive per se, except, like I said, when they harass the females.
And eat their own kids.
They do eat their own kids. They do. They eat their own babies.
Not aggressive at all.
No, they're just
rape
they're
the
hungry.
women and eat the children.
Rape the women and eat the babies. Right. It's like yeah.
Yeah,
it's
suddenly my rope fish are looking like freaking hippies next to you.
You don't know if the rope fish do that though. You have no idea if they eat their own babies.
Bunny is still alive.
Yeah, but she's big. I meant babies, like little babies. When they come out, they can't be that big. I don't know either. We'll have to find out one day. But no, guppies are kind of cool. So if you have any questions about that, please, by all means, like, comment, share, subscribe. All the links are below. If you disagree with me, by all means, we'd love to hear that,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I will argue all day long.
Yes, you will.
I've had guppies for a very long time, and I'm pretty efficient with them. So, by all means, I love to argue about it. I love to argue in general.
She'll challenge you to a cage match.
All right, little teaser. End of August, we are going to visit Discovery Cove because I've never been.
Yeah, she's never been, and just to be fair, we're not throwing her to the sharks this trip.
Thank the gods.
But there's
Yeah.
a reason for it,
Yeah.
and it's because she's only gone snorkeling once.
Yeah.
And so she's not ready to go snorkeling with sharks yet.
No.
That and it
Never.
also costs like $200 per person to go.
Yeah, no,
so
I don't
we
wanna
need to
really-
raise
yeah,
some more
we need-
money.
yeah, we need to
before
figure
can
out some more
throw her
money
to
for
the
that.
Sharks.
But no, I'm kind of excited. I've never been, so I'm really kind of excited and a little bit nervous.
Yeah, on the chainsaw sharks.
Yeah, no.
Sawfish.
Chainsaw Shark comes after Sandy. Sandy is walking on water.
Yeah,
So, just so you know.
Just so you know, chainsaw sharks are basically sawfish. They look like sharks with this chainsaw-looking nose. They're actually
Sandy's outta here.
They're actually members of the
Walking
ray
on
family,
water.
but they look like sharks with chainsaws.
Nope.
It's fabulous.
Nope.
And they have 3 of them. The last time I was there were 3 of them, and I
No,
think the
they're all going to go
longest
after
one was
Shiva.
like-
We're going to throw blood and chum at her.
Oh,
But
I'm
anyway.
fine with them.
Yeah, I know you are. But anyway, if you have any questions or comments, like, subscribe, share. We like
Shop.
Shopping would be. I forgot about shopping.
I got my shirt.
I got mine on.
No, you
I
don't.
don't. Oops, nope,
Yep,
sorry. I got my
she's
other
bad.
shirt
I got one of mine.
on. Maybe next month.
Hey, usually you're the one who remembers and I don't.
Yeah,
This time
you know,
remembered.
I was rushing.
Yeah.
But we look forward to hearing from you. By all means, we will see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.